Good evening, everyone. A very special night, Tanya Mir Tashem. After 8.5 years of Thursday night learning, we're finally finishing the Tanya. Very, very special occasion. We are holding on the last page of Tanya, page Kuf Samach Gimel, opposite of page 324. And this is a letter which we started last week. Yeah. The letter Heicheach Ticheach Hatzam Yisecha. And it's a letter which the Alter Rebbe wrote to the new Chassidic Minyanim, which was a new phenomenon at that time, as we discussed last week. And in this letter, there are three different parts of this letter. The first part of the letter, the Alter Rebbe talks to the Chassidim, and again, the Chassidic communities, and he begs them, asks them, the davening in the shul should be as appropriate, with kavana. And the words the Alter Rebbe says, and everyone should start davening together, word for word, and not zebekoi v'zebekoi. One person's holding here, one person's holding there. Zedoimim, another person stam sitting and doing nothing. Ze mesiach sicha betela, another one is stam speaking dvarim betelim. Instead, the Alter Rebbe wants that the minyanim should be davening should be with kavana, not too long and not too short. That's the first part of the letter. Then the Alter Rebbe requested of his chassidim that the shas be divided amongst in every single community, in every single minyan, every single year they should divide the shas so that the shas should be completed in every single community. And then the Alter Rebbe,
you tell them for how long for the shas?
Every year. What do you mean how long?
Once a year to finish the shas.
Sorry?
It takes a long time to finish.
We're finishing now for 7 years.
No. That the whole community, that they divide the shas. They divide the shas, and this way, the entire community finishes the entire shas every single year.
The community as a whole finishes it every year.
Right. This we spoke about.
Once a year.
Yeah.
And ask you how long.
And as we explained last week in Chabad, that's done. And Yutas Kislev every single year, and every single community, the whole shas is divided. And everyone takes a mesechta. And the entire shas is finished. So that was the second point. Again, first part is about appropriate davening, and the second part was about this chiluk shas. Then the Alter Rebbe introduces the third part, which we started also last week. The Alter Rebbe says that we know that really every single one of us, or those of us who are guilty of doing averis, should be doing a lot of fasting, because if you look in the earlier Sfarim, and that's what Sifrei Musar. So it talks over there about the appropriate amount of fast for every single Avera a person has done, and these amount a tremendous amount of fasts. And obviously, we don't have the koyach to do that today. So therefore, the Alter Rebbe says the eitzah for this is, as Chazal tell us, Kol Hashemer Shabbos Kol Chasei Meichlun Leil Kol Avinesav, is keeping Shabbos. And if we keep Shabbos Kol Chasei and keep Shabbos as appropriate, then we are forgiven for all our Avera. So therefore, the Alter Rebbe asks that everyone should be a baki, should be proficient in all of the halachas of Shabbos. There are many different halachas of Shabbos, and therefore it's not just enough to say I'm a Shemer Shabbos, but at the end of the day, if you're Shemer Shabbos, but if you're not well versed in the actual halachas of Shabbos, then you're not a Shemer Shabbos Kol Chasei. It's impossible, because it's inevitable that you'll be doing things without knowledge. Inadvertently, you're going to be doing things you're not allowed to do. And now we're going to start inside, which is where it says V'gam Yizohir. The first word on the line is Behilchasa, which is around 10 lines from the bottom of the Amud. Alter Rebbe says, "V'gam also Yizohir mioid." A person should be very careful. So this is a continuation. Again, this is about keeping Shabbos properly. So the first thing, in order to keep Shabbos properly, you need to know the halachas. And then the Alter Rebbe says there's another point to keeping Shabbos properly, and that is Yizohir mioid. The person should be very careful. Shalei lo siach shum sicha betela chas v'shalom. The chas v'shalom on Shabbos, we don't speak dvarim betelim. We don't speak weekday things that are not of significance and of importance, and Shabbos we try to make sure that the words that we speak are holy words, important words of Torah, words of davening, words of Avos Yisrael. That's what we try to speak on Shabbos. Now, the truth is, in Shulchan Aruch already it says that in Shabbos we're supposed to be careful. Shleihi diburcha b'choil k'diburcha b'Shabbos, and Chataka in Shulchan Aruch already says that on Shabbos our speech is supposed to be different than our speech throughout the entire week. However, in Shulchan Aruch, therefore it says, and therefore a person shouldn't speak a lot of Devarim B'Telim on Shabbos. But here the Alter Rebbe, it's not only about the Shulchan says it shouldn't be marbenet. And here the Alter Rebbe says is taking a much more extreme stance and saying it's not enough that you shouldn't speak a lot of Dvarim B'Telem on Shabbos. On Shabbos you should avoid Dvarim B'Telem entirely. Why? The reason is because it is known to those who are familiar with Kabbalah. Every single mitzvah has a pnimius and a chetzonius. There's the external element and aspect of every mitzvah. That's the chetzonius, and then there's the pnimius, which is the internal aspect of every mitzvah. So what is the chetzonius ma Shabbos? What is the external element of Shabbos? Hishvisa masiya gashmis. The external element is that on Shabbos we don't do the 39 malachas on Shabbos, physical labor that we don't do. And why is that? That's a reflection of the fact that we know that on Shabbos, 6 days Hashem created heaven and earth. Came along Shabbos, and Hashem abstained from the action of creating heaven and earth, so therefore we abstain also from all sort of creative action. That is the chetzonius. What is the Pnimius HaShabbos? So here the Alter Rebbe is going to say the truth is that when it comes to Shabbos, we know there's Zocher and there's Shomer. Two aspects of Shabbos. Zocher Siyum HaShabbos L'Katre and there's Shomer Siyum HaShabbos. So therefore, first Alter Rebbe is going to tell us what is the Pnimius of Zocher. Pnimius HaShabbos Yah Kavana, B'Tfilas HaShabbos is Kavana in davening on Shabbos, B'Talmud Torah and learning Torah, L'Davka B'Hashem Echad, to connect to Hashem. Shabbos l'Hashem Alikecha. Shabbos is for Hashem. V'zuhi b'chin Zocher. That is the Zocher. So Zocher, again, Zocher is the positive and Shomer is the negative. Zocher is the way we positively sanctify Shabbos, which, by the way, the chetzonius of Zocher is making Kiddush and Havdalah, as Chazal tell us, but that's an action. The pnimius, the internal aspect, how do we make Shabbos holy? Alter Rebbe says, when it comes to Shabbos, the kavana of davening, and learning Torah l'davka b'Hashem echad, to connect to Hashem. And that's something which is on Shabbos. We know by Chassidim is that if the entire week there's an emphasis on davening and on learning, so on Shabbos that's doubled and redoubled, because Shabbos l'Hashem Alikecha. So the Veltish will look. That we look at what is Shabbos? Shabbos is a day I don't work, so what do? I get to sleep. I get to sleep and I get to eat, and there are even rayas to that. There's Einik Shabbos and Shina B'Shabbos Taining. It's all good. It's all correct and it's all right. But ultimately, when you understand the pnimius of Shabbos, how do you make Shabbos holy? We make Shabbos holy through chont. Make Shabbos holy through making sure that it's not kahilaketeh. So the day you learn more chassidus, and you daven with more kavanah. That's the pnimius of Zocher. And what is the pnimius of Shomer? So again, we have Zocher. The pnimius of Zocher is the positive aspect of extra davening, extra learning, extra kavana. The chetzonius of Shomer is what? Is not doing any malachas. What is the pnimius of Shomer? Is abstaining from speaking about physical matters, mundane matters. Just like Hashem abstained on Shabbos from the 10 utterances with which were created the physical heavens and earth. So Alter Rebbe is saying over here that in terms of what we're not supposed to do on Shabbos, Shabbos means we're supposed to abstain, we're supposed to rest. What are we resting from? So there is the chetzonius. What is the chetzonius? Yeah, what is the chetzonius element is? I'm not doing any physical work. Why? Because from my perspective, I see a world. I see a physical world. What happened on Shabbos? Hashem stopped creating the physical world. So that is the chetzonius. But if I want to go pnimius, I want to go a little deeper, what really happened on Shabbos from Hashem's perspective, not from my perspective? I want to take a deeper look. That's the pnimius. What did Hashem stop doing on Shabbos? He stopped speaking. He stopped speaking the Asar Mamaris, the 10 utterances, which we know as the Zohar tells us, that the Asar Mamaris are mili de hedyoita. They're actually mundane words. And it says in Zohar that lav urcha de malka li'ishtoi b'mili de hedyoita. It's even not even bekavedik for Hashem to imagine a big king who's dealing with chveis. Imagine dealing with the janitorial issues and telling the janitors what to do in the palace. It's not the covet. It's Hashem's covet to be dealing with Asar Mamaris to create the world. You know what Hashem's covet is? The Asar Sadibris. That's the Torah, right? The Asar Mamaris. So what did Hashem do on Shabbos, Taka? On Shabbos, Hashem stopped speaking. Latzar Mamaris. He stopped speaking. So again, the chitzonius is what we see. The external element is we see Hashem finished creating the world, the physical, the action, and that's Taka the chitzonius for Shabbos. That we don't do the lamitas malachas. But what is the pnimius? The pnimius that just like Hashem abstained from speaking about physical matters on Shabbos, so the pnimius of Shomer is that we abstain from speaking on physical things on Shabbos. So what are you? So again, here the Alter Rebbe again, just to put it all together. This letter, the Alter Rebbe has 3 requests of the Chassidim. Again, the first one is about davening appropriately. The second one is about finishing the Shas every single year. The third one is about keeping Shabbos. So in keeping Shabbos, the Alter Rebbe says 2 things. Number 1, everyone has to be a baki in Hilchos Shabbos. That's number 1. And he says number 2, that's the chitzonius. The pnimius of Shabbos is, the pnimius of Shomer, of Shabbos, of Shomer Shem Shabbos L'Kachay, is to make sure that we don't speak on Shabbos anything that's related to the physical world. And then the Alter Rebbe ends with an enigmatic words, the very last words of Tanya, Kizel u'mazeh chulu, which means this corresponds to that. What are these words? What does that mean? What is corresponding to what? So what's interesting is that there are at least 3 different understandings of what these last words are, and it's kind of interesting that the last words of Tanya. Okay, also you have to remember, these aren't everything is Shkacha Prat. It's not that the Alter Rebbe put this as the last words of Tanya. As we explained, Kuntesachin was made by the sons of the Alter Rebbe, but ultimately, obviously, everything about Shkacha Pratis, especially something which was made by the sons of the Alter Rebbe, one of whom was the Mittler Rebbe himself. The last words of Tanya is Kizelu Mazeh Chulu. One is opposite of the other, which we're not even sure exactly what it means. So let's give you the three understandings. And then maybe as we continue in farbrengen a little more, maybe we can also talk about some significances to these 3 different understandings and why the Alter Rebbe ends off in this way. So one understanding is Kizelu Mazeh means that the chitzonius corresponds to the pnimius. The Alter Rebbe here talks about chitzonius and pnimius, the external element and the internal element. So they're corresponding to each other. So the chitzonius is acting. In other words, acting in the physical world, and the pnimius is speaking about things in the physical world. That's one understanding. Another understanding is Zelu Mazeh, is the Alter Rebbe says that just like there is, remember we said Zocher, that what is Zocher? Zocher is speaking on Shabbos and connecting to Hashem through speaking words of Torah and davening. So that is on the side of Kedusha. And then opposite that, Zelu Mazeh, opposite of that is when you speak Gashmistic words. So what is the Zelu Mazeh? There's the holy words, which is what we're supposed to speak on Shabbos, and that's opposite of the unholy words, which we're not supposed to speak on Shabbos. That is the second understanding. And a third understanding of Zelu Mazeh is that what is a Zelu Mazeh? Is that what we're saying is that the Eibishter abstained from speaking Gashmistic words on Shabbos. He abstained from Asar Mamaris. Zeh, the Eibishter, the Umazeh. We correspond to the Eibishter. Our behavior has to correspond to the Eibishter's behavior. That just like he didn't speak on Shabbos, on the Sar, he didn't speak the Asar Mamaris, we also abstain. So again, just we also abstain from physical words. So the 3 Pshat Mar. Zelu Mazeh, the pnimius corresponds to chitzonius, or holy words correspond, the holiness, the holy way of saying words in Shabbos corresponds to, is the opposite of the non-holy. Words which we're supposed to not say on Shabbos, or Zelu Mazeh is us and Hashem, that we correspond and we emulate Hashem in our behaviors. Chulu. Hadin Allah Sefer Tanya, Hadin Allah Sefer Tanya, Hadin Allah Sefer Tanya, we finished Tanya, and let's say a l'chaim, and say a mazel tov.
The Baal Tanya doesn't specify a particular time to make the siyum or the shas every year.
L'chaim l'vracha, l'chaim l'vracha. The kishem, what we say, that just like we finished Tanya, we should learn it again and again and again, and not only learn it, but also absorb it. Nishna her and the her. L'chaim l'vracha. Amen.
What do you like?
Rabbi?
What I'd like to do right now is, before we continue, is I would like to start again, because we know maskif and haskala, that we don't end, we're starting again, so turn to the Sharblat, Sefer Lakuti Amarim. Sorry?
The Baal Tanya doesn't specify when the annual siyum shas should be.
Correct.
So, how did, who
At what point did it become the meaning to the Yitas Kustev? I'm not sure.
okay.
Sefer Lakuti Amarim, Chelak Rishain, Hanikra B'Shem Sefer Shal Beinanim. Lakuti Amarim, no, to this page. Here's where I am. It's right in the beginning. 3rd or 4th page.
Well, you're not reading the first chapter. The first word is the first word.
This is the first part of Tanya which Alter Rebbe wrote. This page over here. It's around 4 pages in. You're past it. You passed it. There, this page. There you go. Yes. Sefer Likutei Amarim Chelik Rishon, the first part. Tanikra b'Shem Tevish Albeininim. This introduction to the first part of Tanya, which is called the Book of the Strugglers. Meluket mi Sfarim Pisefrim Kadei She'el Yinish Masam Edom. And Alter Rebbe says that this is compiled and collected from Sfarim and from books and from scribes. Kadei She'el Yinish Masam Edom mi Yusad al Pasuk ki karev yelecha davar miyoid beficha v'vavcha l'seisei. And it is based on the pasuk. Ki karev yelecha davar miyoid beficha v'vavcha l'seisei. That's the whole Likutei Amarim is based on that. Levair Hatev to explain well. Eichu karev miyoid b'derech harucha k'tzara b'ezes Hashem yisparach. How is something which is takem accessible for every single one of us in a long and short way. And in a moment we'll maybe sing a niggun and we'll hear some words of inspiration from other people there also. But a very just short thought that maybe, remember we just explained that 3 different explanations in Beficha, in Zelu Mazah, and we have to always connect the beginning to the end. So perhaps that's connected to Beficha or B'vavcha l'seisei, which we have over here. That one of the explanations in Zelu Mazah was about the words. There's the holy words and the unholy words. That's Beficha. And the other one is that I already had L'chaim. No, that was the first one. Then there was that the Pnimius and the Chitzonius. That the Chitzonius of Shabbos is that the Chitzonius, and what is the Pnimius? The Pnimius is connecting to Hashem L'davka, but to connecting to davening and learning, and that could be B'levavcha. And L'soisei is the last one that we said, is that we correspond to Hashem, and as the Rebbe speaks in the Sichos, and when he finished several times, when he finished Tanya, he said what that means is that our actions impact above. Zelu Mazeh. We follow what the Eibishter does, but at the same time also, it's the whole Tanya ends off with talking about the impact of our Asiya Gashmius over here, which has an impact in the higher worlds, and perhaps that's related to the word La Seisei. L'chaim l'vracha. We'll sing a niggun by the Alter Rebbe. Ke'eliyata v'yaloyeka yarimemeka Ke'eliyata v'yoyedeka Before I hand over the mic to Rabbi Merazov of the Marad Asra, I just want to say a few thank yous. There's some people over here. So first of all, thank you to everyone, to all the Talmidim who, on a personal level, who gave me the schus of learning and teaching the entire Tanya. And there is no greater gift than that. Talmida yeser mekulam. So that's what a special 8.5 years we spent together learning. I will always treasure this year, and I really appreciate the opportunity. I'm not going to talk in any particular seder, just looking around the room over here. Obviously, thank you to Rabbi Merazov, who is the host over here, the Aser over here, and I know behind the scenes also has always had a special place in his heart and concern and done things for the shir. So I appreciate the Rebbe Mirazov. And as I go around the table, and don't be offended if I don't necessarily say your name, but we have Ramesha Vigdor over there. For the new people over here, maybe you don't remember him. But I can say, Moshe got us on the map. In every single which way. The fact that a shir that we're giving over here in Flatbush on a Thursday night is now listened to and watched around the world.
Yeah.
And he was the one who got it started on the different on different websites and the different social media platforms. And sometimes I got the feeling that Moshe felt the ownership of the shir more than I felt an ownership of the shir. That he felt that it was the eigene Zach, that he felt it, that achrayis, that it's his own thing. And the Ashri Chelke v'Godel Schusay, and a very, very, very important role that he played this year would not be what it is if not for Ramesha. And thank you for coming.
I'm happy I gave him a call to come.
Yeah. Okay, a lot of other chashuv talmidim over here. Some of them who are the pillars of the shir over here, who came very often. A special thanks to Reb Shulam. Well, I'll get to everyone. Reb Shulam, who was busy setting up for the last while. He's doing the camera. It's every small thing makes a difference. Zohar, Sasson, you did anything for this year?
Me?
Yeah.
I come to listen to you. That's it.
Sasson, thank you for your questions. No, but also the fact that every single week we came over here and there's the food's all open, and that there's food and there's drink and warmth, and I'm in awe of you.
Yeah.
This is mamish. You have Avraham Avinu's gene. Your chesed that you do,
We all have
and you
Avraham
care.
Avinu's gene.
I know, but you got it in an abundant fashion. And thank you very much for everything. And then we have Reb Peretz, who's busy taking care of the Zoom every single week, and also I believe also had to do a lot with the physical arrangements over here, correcting the show. And then we have over here a guest over here.
Tauber.
No one even knows who he is, Rabbi Tauber. But the bottom line is the whole shir is here because of him.
Wow.
Literally, he's the one who arranged this and recruited me to give this year. And
That's true.
he's there is no shir. Everyone helped, but he is the shir. He's the everything behind it. And I would like to say Achron Chaviv to someone who's not here tonight, but Reb Yosef Mas, who was the financial backbone of the shir from day one. And tremendous chus. There's definitely no question that that's a Yisachar Zvulun partnership, and the chus that he has, that the entire Tanya in English, from the first word to the last word, is online, is definitely in his chus, and the Eibishter should reward him and everyone else who took a part with Bani Chaim is in Revicha with only brachas ad lidai. I'm sure the Alter Rebbe is working on arranging the brachas for all the people who facilitated this year. And with that, I would like to hand over the microphone to the Marad Asher, Rabbi Mirazov, an old Yidid. You're not old. I mean, you did from a long time ago. So you don't even. I don't know how you manage this.
Ich habe eine gute Chaber. L'chaim.
Everybody would come. Take some.
I remember a special siyum Tanya, Tovshim Mem Aleph. And the Rebbe was so thrilled when they finished the Tanya on the radio. The Rebbe was so happy with it. They had a big siyum in Alatoira, in the ballroom in Alatoira, and the Chasna Hall.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You're like 7 years old.
There was good cake.
They didn't have sushi over there then.
No. It was marble cake. But it was, everyone felt it. And the Rebbe's, the main thing, the Rebbe's word was that that it goes on the waves. And it's mamish in the whole world. The Kedusha is going around the entire world. And the Rebbe was it was something that was so dear to the Rebbe's heart. It was so hard to miss. it was impossible to miss. The Rebbe was thrilled about it, so there's no question. The Rebbe is now thrilled. Rabbi Silverberg, Yeshikoyach, and Yeshikoyach to everyone that you mentioned, Yeshikoyach, that this will be La'adul Olmei Alomim on the internet. Kipshute Ladoidis Ladoidoidis. The Tzemach Tzedek said that a printed word is La'ad and Ladoidoidis. So this Tanya Shir is La'ad Ladoidoidis. They should help. It should penetrate into every one of us. Just like it surrounds the whole world, it's makif the whole world. It should also go into Apnimius, into us, and we should be people like the Alter Rebbe would like from the Tanya. L'chaim, l'chaim, l'chaim.
L'chaim, l'chaim, l'bracha. By the way, some of what I spoke tonight was from that Sikha in Mem Aleph.
Oh yeah.
The Zelom Mazah, yeah, some of that was from there. Sure. We have time. I know that Sasson will talk about the
Oh, okay, good is good. So let's, yeah.
An after what? Okay. Which one? Sing another Niggin, Father? Sing another Niggin from the Alter Rebbe before we continue.
L'chaim, everyone. Number one, it's Poischem Mikvei Tachsani of Tarav Morozev. With Hashem, his shul, the library, everything had the schus to be shpezichen, l'gvure, l'shchine, and this place became, as we have a little place here in Flatbush, not a little place, but, and the beacon, the light is around the globe. It's on the air, it's all over the place, Baruch Hashem. There was Zeiche to have his place, to be the Shpezich L'Shchina. And now, Baruch Hashem, Yarchi Mechail Achoil, Meshana Mokim, Meshana Mazel, L'Meliuse, should have a lot of Atzloche. Flatbush needs a Beis Menachem Mendel, a big one, which I have to help me. Baruch Hashem, I had the schus, since I learned here close by and block away to get a little involved. And thanks to Moshe Vigdir, we were able to locate and to find, to schlep out Rabbi Silverberg from doing Afotzes Yehadis only to start doing Afotzes Amayonis. And Baruch Hashem, JLI is a beautiful place, but the whole world needs him. And Baruch Hashem, we had the schus, his words goes all over the place. You'll have one. We have over one of the guests over here, Rabbi Yonan from Williamsburg. I never knew that he has any shaykhs. For years he's listening and listening to the shir online. He got across to it. And he even noticed me, there's one shir still missing from Rabbi Silverberg in the middle of the Tanya Badisim. It needs to be finished.
You were the one who pointed it out to me.
Yep.
I did it.
Yeah.
2 weeks
So
ago.
you see, we have no clue
I didn't remember who was the one who pointed out. You're the one who pointed out. If not for you, if not for him, the Tanya wouldn't be
complete.
We'd be missing half a pedic.
You see? I didn't tell him about it. He got across it.
The end of Perek Lamed Dalet?
Yeah.
That was this week.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
I said that I did it. I did the first half of Lamed Dalet before Sesame Tshuva, and then I came back after Sukkot and I forgot. I started Perek Lamed Dalet. I thought I did it already. So last week I was mashlim. 2 weeks ago I was mashlim. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
So Baruch Hashem, and also it was middle. We had a problem with the recording. He was the one right away. What's going on? There's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, no shir going on, and he helped out getting the finances and getting it back on the air. How you call it? So this is just one of the thousands Baruch Hashem that are listening it. It's Baruch Hashem on Torah Cafe, Torah Anytime, thanks to Moshe, and it's spreading all over. And Mi'at Hashem, we hope to move on podcasts and Spotify. Have it Afotzes Amayonis Chutza Mamish in every avenue and every means of using the technology should be filled with Dvar Hashem. And number one is a bracha to Rabbi Silverberg. You should be Zoiche. Baruch Hashem started a new project with Tanya Daily, and continue doing Afotzes Amayonis with Afotzes together with Afotzes Yehadis for the Frum and for the going to be Frum for everyone. And he already mentioned to Rabbi Silverberg all the names, so I don't need to be doing Askoras Neshamas again. But I would say is number one is first big thanks to Rabbi Silverberg. It's mamish. We could say the whole shir is Hashem Shema, tremendous amount of hours in every shir. It's not just giving the shir; it's the preparation. Such a shir doesn't come out, just coincident. It's a lot of preparation, of hours of preparation, and it's hard times. It's at night after a whole day of work and preparing. And Baruch Hashem was zeiche, Yegato Mitzvos Atamin. It's an unbelievable. And the regards that we hear from all over, so many people got involved in learning Tanya. So many people, it helped in their lives. I will just repeat a story because it touched my life then. I remember when Rabbi Silverberg once told me he got a phone call from a woman saying, Rabbi Silverberg, I owe you my life. She's a shluche. She was dead depressed. She was at a point of committing suicide. Her father told her, listen, start learning Tanya, maybe it'll help you. She came across his shir, and this is what changed her life. And you should know, statistically wise, there's only, when you take statistics, you want to know polls or whatever, you ask a few hundred people, and like this you know exactly what's going around. If you here and there you get a story, you got a live witness, and Rabbi Sasson will say another story that he had. And when you have a little, this you know for sure how widespread it is all over the place, because not too many people come across. You're able to see them here and there and to get the information. And Baruch Hashem that we were zeicha to all of this, and special thanks to everyone. And for Moshe especially, I know it was murder for him. Every Thursday he was like, he had such an amount of pressure, as Rabbi Silverberg said, and I witnessed it. It should be up and running, and everything should be correct, 100%. He took it so personal, and Baruch Hashem. But thanks to the blood that was invested into the shir, that's why it had such a success. So I should help everyone and each and every one. We miss Rabbi Silverberg. We hope we should be, going stronger and stronger and bigger. It's the whole world needs him now. It's not just a local. Kadaib should help. We should have a lot of Atzlach and Afot Samiyos, Afot Saviyahadis, and Av Maraziv. Should keep on. Flatbush is changing tremendously. You need the art of Chassidus here desperately. L'chaim, l'chaim, everyone.
Oopsie.
Good evening, everybody. Good Erev Shabbos. We learned 2 weeks ago in the Tanya that the Alter Rebbe wrote down, you can be besimcha and say at the same time. How it's possible? So we are besimcha that we finished the Tanya with Rabbi Zilberberg. But we're very sad because he's going maybe somewhere else to give the shiur. So it's a simcha and say at the same time.
Sasson, I have to correct you.
Huh?
That doesn't say happiness and sadness. It said happiness and a broken heart.
What's broken heart? It's a sadness.
You see, you need a few more shiurim.
They said you need a million for Myra or something.
We need a million for sushi.
Go ahead. Anyway, continue.
So,
I told my brother to come, he said he needs a shower.
Yeah, that's supposed to use to say the
so Baruch Hashem, for 9 years almost, I tried to be almost every shiur. I was in Israel a few times. I couldn't make it. We listened in Israel for the shiur. I had a little story that Rabbi Tauber said, and this is showing you how people all over the world listening to Rabbi Naftali Zilberberg. If you ask me, don't ask me, but my statement is, he's number 1 Maggid shiur in the world in Tanya. I just gave you. How we know that? We're learning, and he said, open this text, and right there he's telling you something else. Open the, he knows the whole Tanya by heart. Halevai and us. I was in Israel a few months ago for my grandson bar mitzvah. My 2 daughters living in a frat. So one of my son-in-law, Jerry Latinik, he's the head of Just One Chesed. If anyone go to the computer, we do a lot of chasadim, especially now in this war. Be'ezrat Hashem, the war will finish soon and all the hostages will come back.
Amen.
I have my second cousin is a hostage, 86 years old, is the oldest. His name is Shlomo Mansour Ben, what's his name? His mother name? Shlomo Mansour, I forgot. Okay. I never saw him before. I never knew about him, but he's taking hostages. Hashem will send them back.
Amen.
So we're sitting in Zayit in Rabbi Shlomo Katz's shul. My son took me Friday to daven there. It's a beautiful shul. They just built it. Rabbi Shlomo Katz, he's the brother of Eitan Katz, the singer. He's also a singer. So after davening, he has a shiur next door.
Crackers.
So we went to the shiur. It's a nice spread table, and he's giving the shiur, and also all over the world. And I asked a few questions, like usually, like Rabbi Naftali said. I always ask questions. Velo habayshan lamed. You have something. Sometimes it's too much. I'm sorry if I sometimes, argue or something, but Hashem Shamayim is for the Torah. After the shiur there in Israel, in a frat, Hasidic guy looked like Chabadnik with the hat of Chabad, the beard. He came to me and said, "Are you from Brooklyn?" I said, "Yes." "Are you going to the Tanya shiur on Avenue J every Thursday?" Yeah. I said, "Yes." "And who are you?" So he told me he listened every week to the shiur because I'm sitting always here, so I asked question. So he heard my voice and he knew it's me without seeing me, without knowing my name, only participating in the shiur. May Hashem give us very, very soon the Yeshua, and Be'ezrat Hashem, Rabbi Zilberberg will give shiur of Tanya in Yerushalayim, next to Bet HaMikdash, and we all have to be there. Whoever doesn't know, some people not from here, every night we have a shiur, 8:30 to 9:30, then we have Mariv. Sunday morning we have a shiur, 9 o'clock Shachrit, and then we have nice breakfast with Rabbi Morozov giving beautiful shiur. And every night we have a shiur. So we love to see everyone till we move to the new place here. Thank you.
When we moved to the Beis Hamikdash, what are we talking about?
Bet HaMikdash is the new place.
What?
That's a new place.
The new place.
It's a new place.
Anyone else? Right.
Anyone else
Ruben, what's up,
want
second?
to say something else?
You want to say something?
Moshe?
You said just
Moshe,
you said just one chesed is
Come here,
your
Moshe.
son-in-law?
My son.
come on.
You know just one?
Come here.
Is it
It's all over.
saying kaddish through that?
Come here.
Okay, that's part of his thing.
Tefillah it has a whole.
He started and continued.
Really?
Give him this.
You will.
Let
Afterward.
him come around here. I'm so happy I called Moshe.
We need you to join us at the farbrengen.
And you should bring the sunglasses.
And bring Irish sunglasses.
Moshe, come here.
Make sure the screen shows. Make sure the screen's on the
Moshe, I can see you.
David.
The zoom out.
You see? See?
David, yeah.
There you go. Good.
Chaim.
L'chaim, l'chaim.
I don't have, I didn't prepare.
Everybody, please. Moshe was the founder of the shiurim here. So everybody listen.
I didn't prepare. You got like, I don't know what to say. I just feel it's a big schus that
Please, everybody. Thank you.
we had shaykhs to this, and as I mentioned, there's a lot of blood that went into this, and a lot of koyach, and Baruch Hashem, we're here, finished the whole sefer, and even just to see Mr. I forgot the name showing up and telling that he's listening online all the time, and you never knew. So this is something today's world. You throw out something online, you have no idea where it's coming, and all the stories we heard. It's an amazing schus, and Hashem should give a bracha to everyone who was involved and who helped make this come to this point. Should be matzliach, and the schus the Alter Rebbe should give everyone what they need.
Amen. There are a lot of people who this class for them was their gateway to Chassidus, and not only Tanya, but they started learning. I know people reach out to me. It's an amazing pull. So for all those who are involved.
May Hashem give Moshe parnasa tova and good education for the children. I saw his children. I went to visit him in Hillside, and I think he bought the Hillside house because of me. Because I told you they're looking for Hasidim there, and I have my two daughters living there. Something like that.
Something like that. Sheldon, willst du etwas sagen? You want to say something, Sheldon?
Sheldon, come here.
I want to thank you for the shiurim that you've given, and I want to
Turn around.
reiterate what Sasson said. You know Tanya by heart, and it's really a source of amazement.
I want to thank you, Sheldon, for challenging me. Time and again. I'm being serious. I'm not letting me get away with things. Like sometimes I'm saying something and I'm hoping no one's going to ask anything second. Just go through it, and Sheldon raises his hand. And so, you don't even have to raise your hand. You make a face. I'm like, oh, Sheldon caught me. Sheldon caught me. I'm going to have to address it then. Yeah.
Maybe the lawyer, Alan, want to say a few things?
The only thing I'll say is I thank Rabbi Silverberg for teaching the Tanya week in, week out. And some teachers, they have a set thing they want to cover, and that's all they do. And if you ask a question, they say, talk to me afterwards, or I didn't prepare for that. But Rabbi Silverberg was prepared to talk and to engage and dialogue with whoever was in the class. And it was just a pleasure, and I hope that since we have shiurim at Beis Menachem Mendel every night, we should. The worst thing would be
that Thursday night there shouldn't be something else. So I have full confidence that something else will fill the vacuum. And I'm sure Rabbi Silverberg would say there's something in Tanya that the worst thing is to have idleness and have a vacuum in learning and just go weiter and go weiter. And thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, take the mic. I have nothing else.
Yeah.
I want to say a few words. First, I want to thank Rabbi Naftali. I'm blessed with traffic, and maybe some other people also are blessed with traffic. For years and years, I'm driving through the FDR for a way that it takes about, it should take 15-20 minutes, it could take an hour and a half. And I always had a problem with it. It was so boring the way. For years, I'm already over 15 years since I found you online. And I started to listen to that shiur for many years ago. The way started to become so short that I was mamash looking forward for the traffic. When I came to work, and it's so fast the way, and I was looking on the watch, and I see it's still the same time, but the timing was passing by. So this is one thing, and another thing that the benefit of it is when I used to arrive to work. From sitting in traffic and being so agony about you want to get to the next point, the work was not. It wasn't. It was so stressed out. When I came to work, the work becomes so different. I'm coming to work, nothing was happening. I was just. I was by the most amazing in a different. An atmosphere and a different zone, and I came to start working. It was amazing. The whole thing, the whole day changed us. And this is also a side benefit. The main benefit, it changed the whole life and the whole vision of how to look at life, in the purpose of life, and to see. You see different in every possible way. You see a different vision of what you used to see, and everything what you see different in a higher perspective. Different I used to be. I used to look at things much more different than I used to be, and it's constantly changing. In whatever you see different than I was seeing before I learned Tanya. This is basically the main thing. And another thing that I see about Tanya is. And every shiur, there is the person who gives the shiur, and there's the people who listen to that shiur, and this is some kind of the person who gives the class teaches something that the listeners don't know. And basically, in other words, they are telling you, I'm going to teach you something that I know, which you don't know. But when it comes to Tanya, it's a different ballgame. The idea is you telling people that let me tell you what we are all struggling with. It's not about superior and inferior. It's about, let me share it with you. Let me tell you let me reveal to you something and discuss with you that me and you are in the same boat. And this is it's very different than any other type of shiur. When you're listening, or when you're telling another one a shiur, it's about, okay, so let me tell you the Gemara, what the Gemara is telling you. Okay, so I already know the Gemara, but the Tanya, it's a different message. It's about, let me reveal to you what we both all are struggling. We're just repeating and we're just getting the nuances and the details. It's not about who gives the shiur, what the shiur is giving, what the shiur is giving to us. But it doesn't matter who teaches it. This is something that I hope I'm getting the message clear, but...
A lot of amazing points. A lot of amazing points. Well, the one thing, especially when you talk about... Tanya is not a collection of ideas. But ultimately, the goal of Tanya is, like you said, is that it gives you you look at the world with the Tanya outlook. It gives you an outlook on everything. Yeah, it's a different look. And that's definitely what you're saying. And the other thing is that you reminded me of a story, like in Einer, that there was a person. It was a chassid from a Rebbe. I don't remember which Rebbe with the story you said about. and he ran a store, and he made a very nice parnas. The store was always busy. He passed away. His son took over. His son wasn't as frum or as much as a Yiddish Shemayim as him. So, and the business started going away. And Mamish, he was losing 70-80% of the business that came to his father. He wasn't getting. So he didn't know what to do, but he knew his father had a Rebbe. So he figured, let me go to my father's Rebbe and ask him. So he went to his father's Rebbe, and the Rebbe said to him that, let me ask you a question. He says, your father, when he ran the store, if there weren't any customers, so what did he do? He said, I opened up a safer and I learned a little. And he says, and what do you do when there's no customers? I twiddle my fingers, I read the newspapers, I scroll Instagram. So the Rebbe said, it's very simple. Your father, the Yitzhahara the Sultan saw that if there's no customers, he's going to learn. So he sent him customers, a lot of customers, to make sure he didn't have any empty time. He says, the Sultan is very happy. Doesn't have to send you any customers. Anyways, so when you're saying before about, that when you're learning Tanya, the trip goes quicker, it's like, that something doesn't have to put traffic in the way, right? It's like
Timing is the same.
Yeah, I understood what you're saying.
Yeah, I know.
Understand.
Ultimately, the Baal Tanya is teaching all of us, even though Rabbi Silverberg with Modo Batzmo was the Rebbe for us, but ultimately you hear the Baal Tanya as a Rebbe from a few hundred years ago teaching us. It's in his own unique way.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
You
want to?
Tanya class?
Sure.
First of all, I want to thank you for being an amazing Tanya teacher. I learned a lot of valuable lessons from your teaching us the Tanya. One thing in particular was you taught us from the Alter Rebbe that when we daven, we have to picture like the king is in the room. Because if the king is in the room, we would dare not speak. Because if we would speak, if the king were there, he would chop our head off. He would kill us, or he would punish us. So after I learned that, from what you taught us from Tanya, I would have been much better in not speaking during the davening. So that I had a life-changing experience from what you taught us. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
In other words, the bottom line is when it translates into action, into behavior.
Yeah.
And thank you for participating, and thank you also for your questions.
Thank you.
During class. We appreciate it. Yeah. Anyways, a good friend of mine, Rabbi Dinnerman, just walked in. Tanya, something about a siyum, Tanya.
Hello, David.
No?
I'll speak if you want.
What?
Oh, he wants to say about it.
Something done.
He's coming.
Yeah, I'll move you.
Oh, all right, we'll move it back and forth.
Great idea.
It's gonna go back and forth.
No one's leaving.
So I haven't been a part of this year, but I started learning Tanya a few months ago, and I found that it's absolutely changed my life in so many ways. The way I think, my perspective towards people, towards everything around me, towards events that happen, and I find myself just totally thinking about everything differently. For example, just today, one of my friends was telling me about how he's selling things online and he got a negative review. He was worried about it. It was hurting his business. And now, and I started telling him, well, I was telling him things from the Tanya, and without even realizing it, I was like, there's no such thing as misfortune. There's only revealed good and hidden good. And I started telling them, you could only get upset about something, you'd only get sad about something if you forget about who you are, where you come from, and what your purpose is doing here. And then after I was saying all this stuff from the Tanya, I realized, wait a second, he's Ashkenaz. He doesn't know what, he probably doesn't learn the Tanya. He's probably thinking to himself, what is he even talking about? But that's just the way my reaction to things in life and everything around me, sometimes without even me realizing it, is really based on everything that I've been learning in Tanya. And it's absolutely, you can learn it on different levels of understanding everything, but it's absolutely completely applicable to life. And honestly, it's made me a much better, happier person, and feel so much closer with my neshama to Hashem. And I want to give everyone a bracha here that we should continue fulfilling our tachlis of building a dira b'tachtonim for Kadosh Baruch Hu. May we continue to be successful in subjugating the Sitra Achra and building and allowing Kadosh Baruch Hu's Ein Sof Or to illuminate in this world, where it'll illuminate even greater than the higher worlds. And may we continue fulfilling that through doing mitzvos, primarily maisas, not just midrash, and may that culminate with Mashiach b'mhera b'yameinu soon.
Amen.
I've heard your shir.
You learned Tanya on your own, you said?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Nice.
The new cover of the...
Yeah.
Right here, the siyum.
I want to wish everybody first of all Mazel Tov that we finished the over here. Okay, that we finished the Tanya. I was just showing Rabbi Silverberg a picture of. I was showing her a picture that in Tafshin Lamed Dalet in Kfar Chabad, I learned Tanya with the Reb Mendel. I had somebody go up on the balcony over there in the Zal to take a picture. I'll show you the picture later. Yeah.
Before I was born.
Yeah. So, but truth is, the first place that I learned Tanya was in Lubavitch Yeshiva on Ocean Parkway by Reb Shalom Ber Hecht. He used to give a shir at that time. This was like in the afternoon, because when we were growing up in Bedford and Dean, they didn't give to the kids Tanya shir. It wasn't set for some reason in the maybe we weren't muchen yet. Probably that's the case. But I want to wish everybody that when it says when it says that Chelik Hashem who no in Tanya when we say that pasuk after we say that we should all internalize this. I just want to say something about Rabbi Silverberg. I remember going to a shir somewhere, I don't want to say where because it's Lashon Hara, and I was used to coming in Beis Menachem Mendel, and we, if you have a question, either you raise your hand, and the Maggid Shir will acknowledge whatever your question is, hopefully give you an answer. So I was in this other place. It was actually in Borough Park, and I asked a question, and everybody looked at me like, how dare you? You don't ask questions over here, but over here is different. So, what does that mean? What can we internalize by that? We can internalize that by the person who's giving the share, that they already have all the knowledge inside of them, and they're able to bring it out in a fashion that the person who's asking the question understands and hopefully has an answer to whatever the question is that he asked about. I think this is an important point, as opposed to going to the way he pointed out that you go to some kind of a shir and you don't know, the guy is just telling you over the fellow from Williamsburg. He's still here? Yes. Yeah. He's saying that it's just. Yeah.
I think you're blocked by the.
There he is. Yeah. No, he pointed out that you can go to a shir and the guy is telling you the things, and maybe he's not mukhan to be able to give over the proper knowledge to the student, so that the student should internalize it and understand it. But in this case over here, it's totally different. When we came here, if somebody didn't have any knowledge whatsoever, it was explained in a proper fashion so that it could be given over, and the person who is the makabel internalized it, and hopefully is using it on a day-to-day basis. Everybody should have a good Shabbos.
Yeah.